Alex Hormozi says you need to write more ads. But the problem is, if you're a business owner, you're already managing your employees, you're already dealing with your client fires, you're already doing a million different things, you probably don't have much time available to sit down and write ads every single day or every single week. So in this video today, I want to break down how you can pump out an insane volume, I'm talking 50 plus new ads every single week in just a few minutes. Now, if you're not familiar with me, my name's Damon. I'm a fractional CMO. I have CMO'd on as many as 5 different companies at any given time. So for me, I have to pump out a pretty large volume of new ads, new emails, new VSLs on a monthly basis. So in this video today, I'm going to walk through my exact process for doing this in a way that is efficient, effective, and is going to help you get that result in the least amount of time possible. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. So basically, the easiest way to do this is you get a few of each of these on a weekly basis, and then you throw them together, you pair them together. For example, every single week for every company that I CMO for, I'll write like 5 new ad hooks at a minimum. Ideally, brand new angles. I'll write typically like 3 new scripts. Copy, the ad copy usually just kind of a function of the ad script, not too different, just usually a shorter version, couple of headlines, 5, and then same on banner copy. So when you have all of these, I try to make them in a way where it's like you can pair them together. Like for example, I'll write an ad hook that will work with all 3 new ad scripts. So and same with like the banner copy. I'll try to make the banner copy so it goes with all of these. So if we just throw them in and just kind of throw them to my video editor and just say, just make a bunch of different pairs with each of these, then you're good to go. And if I'm having a busy week, honestly, I won't even make the new body copy. When I say ad script here, I'm referring to like the body of the ad. So we have the initial hook, those first like 2 lines or whatever, and then we have the rest of it. So sometimes I don't even touch this. I just do like the new rapid hook iteration. And we can go inside of Claude. Well, I'll go to that in a sec. But for me personally, I'm a creative, I'm a CMO. For me, coming up with ideas is pretty easy and straightforward. But if that's not the case for you, it's really easy to just brainstorm inside of Claude. So let me walk through an example here. I'm just going to riff off the top of my head. So I am writing a funnel right now for an ebook, how to increase your lead quality. So I'm just going to go through, think of like 5 random angles. What are a couple different angles for why someone would need to increase their lead quality? A pretty basic one here. Are you sick and tired of dealing with broke prospects who can't afford your services? That would be number 1. Are you sick and tired of wasting time with tire kicker prospects who will never buy? Imagine if you had a calendar filled with wealthy, ready to buy leads every single day. What would that do for your business? What else? So if I'm looking at lead quality, what are a couple other things related to lead quality? I would say, time. A big one is like big picture type stuff. How do I look at the big picture of the business? One thing that comes to mind is like back-end client work. Like, sick of dealing with broke clients who whine and complain about everything and expect an ROI 3 hours after you close them. Then, okay, what else? So if I'm running out of hook ideas here, super easy thing to do is just go over to like Claude, over to ChatGPT. Okay, so from here, one thing I'll do with Claude is I'll just give it like ton of um, a ton of volume to work with. Just tell it to like write me 50 different hooks. So please give me 50 unique new ad hooks. Now, I found with AI, it's kind of a volume game in a lot of cases. You just tell it to put out a ton of volume. A lot of it's going to suck, but there's usually some gold in there if you dig hard enough. So free lead magnet is attracting freeloaders. Stop paying for leads we're never going to buy. I like that one. That's a good headline, I'd say. Not necessarily a good hook, but I'd throw that in a headline for sure. A lot of times too, I'll use the headlines almost interchangeably as the banner copy, depending on the length. Banner copy has to be pretty. I believe usually I do like 8 words or less on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't pay for leads who will never buy. Okay, I think we should get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're good. So, yeah, we can kind of use these interchangeably. Your sales process isn't too aggressive. Your leads are just wrong. Tired of explaining your value to people who don't get it. I don't like those. That kind of sucks. Okay, so then we'll kind of dig a little bit deeper with Claude. So, okay, at this point we have 4 hooks. Just need some new headlines. So let me just riff a couple ad scripts here. So a lot of times I'll like riff one script and then I'll go back to Claude or ChatGPT and tell it to create more like this. So if I'm gonna roll with this one here, are you sick and tired of dealing with broke prospects who can't afford your services? Does it feel like you're wasting your time and money all day long on calls with prospects who will never close, who will never pay you money, are simply not a good fit? If that's the case, then check this out. Inside my new book, How to Pinpoint the Top 1% of Leads in Your Market, I break down a simple 6-step process that any business owner can use to substantially improve their lead quality practically overnight. It isn't going to cost you tons of money, isn't going to require you to revamp all of your marketing systems, and it isn't going to take months to execute on either. All you have to do is follow these 6 simple steps that can be implemented overnight, and boom, you'll have a calendar filled with wealthy leads who are ready to buy. It's all available for just $7. If this gets you one new lead who closes, then it will ROI for you 10,000. That sounds kind of bullshit, but I'm just kind of exaggerating a little bit here. Want the details? Check out the next page. Inside of that page, you're going to see a full breakdown of the book, what it entails. Watch the video on that page. If it sounds like it's a good fit for you, go to the big red I want this button, click on it, enter your details on the next page, and then check your inbox. This is the next step to better lead quality, a more profitable business, and more peace of mind. Click the link below now. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so yeah, I just kind of riffed that there. All right, so I'm gonna take this, throw it into Claude. I'm not very nice to Claude, if you haven't noticed. Okay, so it's this. Then let's start this. See what it says. Okay, please go ahead and write one full ad from scratch. Just one. I will give you feedback afterward. Okay, this is pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's like not the most. This isn't the most direct pain point. Like this is like a subset of the problem. Like if I'm looking at the problem that most of these people are facing, it's like the biggest problem is the leads suck, they're broke, they're tire kickers, and yes, like show rates on call 2 are not good. I would say this isn't the most primary problem, but I would also say it is a problem, you know. It's a hidden lead there, or a buried lead. Okay, and something I do also, a lot of times, like, I do this when I'm writing, and I'll do this with AI a lot, but, like, it'll have these buried leads. Like, I look at this as, this is a buried lead. Like, I can turn this into a new ad, so. Not the best hook, I'd say, but I can work with that. I don't like this one as much, but hopefully you get the point. So I'll go through and I'll use that to make a few more scripts. I'll work with this. I'm not going to edit it in this video. It's going to take a bit of time. But so now we have, go through that, create new scripts. And we can just pull a few of these lines into the headline and body copy. So now if we have, let's just make the numbers simple. Like let's say we have 5 new ad hooks, we have 5 new body copy, 5 new hooks, 5 new body copy, 5 headlines, and 5 banners. That means, what is that? 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So that is, let me run some numbers real quick. That is 625. So that would be approximately 625 new ads in that case. So that's pretty good amount of volume, realistically. And this took me, we are at 16 minutes and 22 seconds. So obviously the whole ad isn't completely finished, but if you go through like once a month and just sit down for an hour, just do this process, get the ad to a point where it's good enough. Write a couple of these, 5 of each of these. I would lean towards a lot of new hooks. Like if you can jack these numbers up, like I'm just kind of throwing out arbitrary numbers here. A lot of times I'll do like 10 new ad hooks. I'll do like 3 new body copy. Do 5 to 10 new banners, new headlines. If you can do that on a monthly basis, like you can pump out tons of ads, like that, like I just said, that's like 625 new ads. I don't think, depending on your level of scale, like if you're spending $50,000, $100,000 a day, then yeah, we're talking different. But, for most cases, 625 new ads per month, that's more than enough, in my opinion. I've made, had $1 million a month companies that have tested a lot less than that and gotten a very good ROAS. So hopefully this video is helpful. I will definitely do a follow-up on this in terms of the editing and a lot of other stuff. So yeah, if you have anything else you'd like to see on this topic, feel free to drop a comment below and I'm happy to address those, make a video on it. So thanks for watching. Make sure you drop me a subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.